Okay, folks, we're going to see if the monitor I bought is better than the monitor I bought 10 years ago. So the monitor I bought 10 years ago was this Dell monitor, 24-inch screen, IPS panel, 60 Hertz. And what I'm interested in is if these input lag and response time and the refresh rate factor in when in comparison to my new monitor, which I paid $500 for this year, about the same amount of money I paid for my other monitor 10 years ago. Bigger panel, higher refresh rate, lower input lag, better response times. Let's get into it. The first experiment after some basic math. So if each panel refresh 60 times every 1,000 milliseconds, and the newer panel refreshed 144 times every 1,000 milliseconds, then we have a 10 millisecond improvement in frame speed if in a perfect world. So let's see if that translates into the experiments. So the first experiment we do is this reaction time test. We simply click a button when colors change and see if there's any difference when the subject is looking at one monitor versus the other. We hook up the same input to both displays and we just click the buttons. So the results: the first participant does not play video games, or anything like that, but had a significant improvement when using the newer monitor with a higher refresh rate, specifically 34 milliseconds on the first trial and 22 milliseconds on the second trial. Person number two does play considerable number of video games, but likely should not because the reaction time is terrible. And it seemed like the monitor did not matter as much, with only a 9 millisecond improvement on the second test, which indicates maybe there's lots of factors of reaction time. The second experiment, we use a GoPro. First monitor's refresh rate is 60 Hertz. Second monitor's refresh rate is 144. The GoPro supports a capture mode that is 240 Hertz, so it should be able to visibly catch each monitor in their transition times. So let's look at the result. So you can see that the monitor on the right transitions faster than the monitor on the left, which is what we expect. And if you dig into the data, you can see, if you look at the timings in the recording, you'll see that the panel on the left is 50 milliseconds slower blue to red, 29 milliseconds slower red to green, and 20 milliseconds slower green to blue. You can speculate as why that is. Maybe the color representations differ and that relates to speed. I don't know. Now the third experiment is in game. So timed in games should be simpler. So on this test, we use this game where the dots show up every 80 milliseconds. So the participant was not noticeably better at firing at dots because their aim is not very great to begin with. So this test was more or less inconclusive. Final experiment is power consumption. So in-game, out-of-game, whatever. At 50% brightness, the old monitor chewed up 56 watts, 100% brightness, 112. New monitor, which is larger, but a lower top brightness, was 30 and 44. Yeah, at a tolerable brightness level, the new monitor uses less power, it seems. Okay, cool.